She called her car, 2 Adam 23 for code 1. I responded, go ahead. Then she began to state that we got a female on the line stating that she's Amanda Berry. She's been missing for 10 years. I acknowledged getting the call, and I asked if she was still on the line or did she hang up.
And she wasn't on the line?
She came back, the dispatcher came back stating that she was still on the line, and she began to give the information about her capture, or captor, Ariel Castro. We pull up, we see a crowd, like on the porch. We see this girl, she's like raising her hand, holding a child. I'm looking at my partner, is it her? He's like, I can't tell. We're pulling up closer, and as soon as we pull up, my partner was driving, so she came to the driver's side, and he looked at me, and he's like, it's her. Just the emotion from that point of him confirming it was Amanda, it was overwhelming. We figured he might possibly still be inside the house because she's pointing to this house while she's giving us that information. My partner immediately asked her, is there anybody else inside? And she said yes, Gina De Jesus and another girl. And it was like another bombshell, just with overwhelming force just hitting me. I believe I broadcasted that Gina might still be in the house, or possibly that she'll be in the house, and we immediately started running towards the house. As we were going up the steps, it was so quiet, like peaceful, almost as if, I started thinking, okay, all we're gonna do is clear this top floor, nobody's gonna be there, and just leave. And then you hear this scuffling, something going on in this room. And, I'm looking that way, just waiting to see what's going to happen. And it was Michelle. She kind of popped out into the doorway and paused there for a second. Within moments, she came charging at me. She jumped onto me. She's like, you saved us, you saved us. And I'm holding on to her so tight. And then within a few seconds, I see another girl come out of the bedroom. I just look at her. You can immediately tell who it is, just thinner. And again, I just needed confirmation. And I asked her, what's your name? She said, my name is Georgina De Jesus. It's very overwhelming. It took everything to hold myself together. I have Michelle in my arms, and then you got Gina coming out. And it was like one bombshell after another. That's when I broadcasted, 2 Adam 23, we found them. We found them. Like everybody was in the right place. It couldn't have got any better than that day. I don't feel like a hero. I'm just glad I was there. Just making sure they were safe. I feel so happy for them. It's just unbelievable. It goes through my mind every day. I couldn't imagine the past 10, 12 years, what they went through. It just keeps playing back in my mind. I could still picture us just pulling up, seeing Amanda. Couldn't believe it. Going, her telling us Gina might be in the house, going into the house. I just keep replaying it every day since it happened. I'm just glad that, just to be a part of it. All the officers there on scene that day, everything just went so awesome and well.
I was actually back at the station working on a report when I heard the call come in. In my head, I was hoping it was true. And all I knew is I had to get there fast. I wanted to be there if that was the case. So I drove pretty fast, lights and sirens. When I pulled up, I didn't see Amanda. I just saw Officer Espada and Officer Tracy running across the street towards the house. And I got out of my car and I ran right over there, right behind them. And Officer Espada kept yelling out, "Cleveland Police." And it kind of seems like an eternity, but it was so quick at the same time where you didn't hear anything, and then all of a sudden it was almost like the pitter-patter of feet running towards you. And next thing I know, someone is in Officer Espada's arms. At that point, all I remember is when he put her down, she jumped up into my arms and held on to me and screamed, "Please don't let me go, please don't let me go." I said, "Honey, don't worry, I'm not letting you go." At that point, Anthony was already interacting with what was later found out to be Gina DeJesus. And he looked at me, the look on his face, and he goes, "Barb." He goes, "We found him." I can't even tell you how the emotions that we felt. It was just unbelievable. And everything else was just a blur. It was just surreal. It was just unbelievable. The feeling of the heaviness in the heart just lifted. And then the next array of emotions of, I don't know, it was relief, and then you just don't want to think of what happened to them, so you just keep thinking positive and wanting to just encourage them that they're safe now and everything is okay. I was just so focused on them, and I really didn't. I can't even tell you what happened outside of what happened to them while I was there. The girls are the heroes in this story. They fought every day, and they're the true heroes.
Dispatch gave us an assignment stating that a female on the line, stating to be Amanda Berry, was at this location and she had just escaped from the house. I'm always the positive thinker, thinking it's got to be her, it's got to be her. And I just operate the overhead lights and sirens, and we just go as fast as we get there. We were coming from 25th and Lorraine, so it wasn't too far, just north of that location. So as we pull out to Seymour, see at the corner right, we see a group of people standing off to the left. Even before I can stop the vehicle, a female approaches the vehicle and carrying a small child, just waving at us. Before the vehicle can stop, she's at my window, and I look up at her, our partner looks up at her, and we look at each other, and it's like, I go to her, "I think that's Amanda Berry. I think that's Amanda Berry." So I immediately get out of the car, and I'm like, "Is that you?" And just like on the tape, she's frantic. She's frantic with us. It's pretty chaotic. She's telling us who she is. She's been captive. The little child that at the time we didn't know was hers is screaming and crying, so it was just crazy what was going on. She gives us information on Ariel Castro, description, the vehicle that he might be driving. This time other cars are starting to arrive on scene. I'm looking at her face and I can't believe what I'm seeing right in front of me. Nervous. Her child she's holding is screaming. After we get the information on Ariel Castro, the other cars are arriving on scene. We can't believe what we see. And after we get all this information from her, things are starting to calm down a little bit. I'm thinking, wow, we got her right here. She's safe, her child is safe. And then, we don't know what's going on in the house. We don't know anybody that could be in the house, could be a suspect or something. So I just asked her, I say, is there anybody else in the house? She goes, yes, Gina DeJesus, another girl. And I was like, what? It was just, words can't explain what was going through my head and everybody else's heads that was right there. It was unbelievable. So immediately we started running towards the house. After searching the first floor and basement, I returned upstairs to see what was going on up there. I saw my partner being hugged, and then Officer Johnson being hugged. And then I look around them and I see Gina DeJesus walk out of the bedroom. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I was just stop there for a second, just in awe of what I was seeing. It's amazing. It's unbelievable. I mean, it's a great feeling for not only for me, my partner, the officers there, but everybody from the 2nd District, the West Side that's familiar with these cases. Just unbelievable. I kept up hope. Yeah, a few times I, thought about it, and I always talk to my partner about the positive mental attitude, and just always try to stay positive on certain things. And yeah, I was hoping so. Happy, relieved that they were safe. Like I said, words can't explain what was going through our minds that day. It was just an overload of information and happiness to find those 2 girls, those 3 girls, and the daughter alive. It was just unbelievable. Yes, it was pretty quick. Information was gathered quickly, broadcasted over the air. All the 2nd District cars were converging on the area, assisting, and with a description of the suspect and the vehicle, they were able to locate him at 32nd and Clark and McDonald's. It was a team effort, though, not just for us. We just responded there. It was a great team effort from everybody that was involved, from the patrolmen, supervisor, detectives, everybody that assisted there. It was just a great job by everybody.